Hey, what's up, guys? We are here for my NPL Week 5 match versus Nick, coach of the Texas Tyrantrums. He actually has a very threatening team, and we have played him before. We played Nick last year, and I'm pretty sure we came out on top pretty easily. I believe he had like a Keldios, kind of like semi-rain team with like Kingdra. I can't remember exactly, but this year he's got a much more threatening team. He drafted very well, and he's actually 3-1, top of the conference, or the other conference. I'm on top of my conference. He's on top of his conference. So it's a little bit of a not really first versus second because there's somebody with a better record than him, but it's like first versus third, first versus fourth, somewhere in there with the overall rating of the league. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty big clash, honestly. This game is very important for me. I need to stay on top of Trevor, who is also, I believe, 3-1. His only loss coming from us, and I think there might be one other person. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one other person with a 3-1 record. So it's very important to win this game and just stay on top. Honestly, we are still undefeated. We are 4-0 currently, and I can't wait to get this battle going. So anyway. Looking at Nick's team, Nick has Tapu Bulu, Necrozma, Mega-Aerodactyl, Arcanine, Milotic, Hitmontop, Greninja with the Z move, Miltank, Sneasel, Escavalier, and Electivire. He actually dropped his Honchkrow for the Escavalier, which is I would say it's a good transaction. Other than the fact that it gives, he has multiple fire answers. He has Milotic, he has Flash Fire, Arcanine. He has Diancie, he has Greninja, he has Thick Fat Miltank. Yeah, there's just so many fire answers. So adding Escavalier is a good fit for his team. But Honchkrow, in my opinion, is a better Pokemon overall. So it's kind of a 50-50, if it works for him or not. I'm not too sure if he'll bring it. It does a decent amount to my team, but then again, I do have Heatran, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's just, I don't even know if Escavalier gets a ground type move. Anyway, Escavalier is a pretty decent Pokemon, I guess. We'll see if he brings it. But that is definitely not the thing that I'm scared of the most. If you look at his team, his very first round pick was the Tapu Bulu, and I am very new to Gen 7, so I'm scared of anything in Gen 7, honestly. I'm not really too, I wouldn't say I don't know the Mons. I've obviously been at least gaining some knowledge about these Gen 7 Mons and pretty much getting myself comfortable with them, using them, and using, trying to battle against them. So that's not necessarily my problem. My problem is I don't really know what tricks they have up their sleeves. Maybe he'll bring like a sub Leech Seed bulk up set that could pretty much destroy me. I don't know the viability, I guess, is the best way you could put it about some of these Gen 7 Mons. So some of it can catch me off guard, some of it can't. So hopefully he's not some weird set. I'm predicting Banded because Banded does a lot to my team. Banded would, I believe, almost 2-hit KO my Tangrowth. So due to the fact that Grassy Terrain boosts Grass type moves. So also, it kind of sucks that Grassy Terrain is on his team because Earthquake does do a decent amount to his team, but then again, Earthquake is weakened by half versus Grassy Terrain, so I can't necessarily bring that and be effective. So that was a big deter from bringing my Crocodile, which we haven't even brought since week 1, which is crazy. I've only brought Crocodile one time this entire league, and this is the 5th game, so very, very, I guess, it just wasn't predicted. I honestly thought I'd be bringing Crocodile more, but I have not. So hopefully we can use that later on, at least more. And anyway, that is another thing that I'm kind of scared of, is the fact that Earthquake won't be doing too much, so he can bring in Diancie. I don't really have too much for Diancie. I obviously have like a Heatran and a Klefki, but Earth Power is a thing. I have Tangrowth with an Assault Vest to kind of eat that up. The Arcanine is a bit of an issue. I don't really have too much for it. I guess Necrozma is always going to be an issue because of Prism Armor, so I don't really know what set he's going to bring because he's a Mono type too, Mono Psychic. So my game plan around that is probably just a Toxic It, and same with the Milotic, just Toxic It. But yeah, the one thing I tried to exploit on his team is the Hitmontop. The Hitmontop is his only form of hazard removal with Rapid Spin. So I know I can get rid of the Hitmontop and try to hazard stack. That's why you see me bring in Stealth Rock and Spikes. I'll go right into the I guess, detailed part of the team builder. So we are bringing our Heatran, our Hot Tranny with the Chapel Berry and the Flash Fire ability, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Stealth Rock with 196 HP, 156 special attack, and 156 speed with the Timid nature. Now this speed investment allows me to outspeed Adamant, Tapu Bulu, along with low investment Arcanine, Allows me to pretty much outspeed the Hitmontop unless he's max speed, which I don't think he would bring. It allows me to outspeed uninvested Miltank, allows me to obviously outspeed the Escavalier, and I believe outspeed Milotic too. Yeah, I should definitely outspeed the Milotic. So that's about it. I'm not too sure about Necrozma. I believe I outspeed slow Necrozma, but that's it. So yeah, this is the Heatran set. Chapelberry is very, very nice versus his team. Tapu Bulu actually does not get Earthquake, so I will be able to eat a super power up relatively well with this Chapelberry. Along with the Arcanine, it gets Bulldoze, but I don't know if he would bring it. Just because it's a base 60 power move, or 50 or 60, I think it's 60. Yeah, I don't know if you would bring a base 60 power ground move when you can bring a 120 base close combat fighting type move. So that is the reason why I'm bringing the Chapelberry on that. Obviously hidden power ground he could potentially bring, but I don't think I would see that. His Hitmontop is a fighting type, obviously, so if I need to desperately get up rocks on his close combat and potentially eat it, and then flamethrower, you know, etc. Stuff like that. If I need to eat that one hit and then be able to at least live. So that is the reasoning for the Chapelberry as well. Miltank gets Earthquake, so I really don't see the need for that. Sneasel, it also helps out with Sneasel's low kick. I can eat a Sneasel's low kick, and which he would expect to kill me, and potentially kill it with a flamethrower or a flash cannon, which it should be able to every single time. So that's pretty cool. I believe the special attack investment is to make sure that I can kill the Tapu Bulu uninvested from full HP, and then the rest is just thrown into HP to maximize my bulk. So I do think Heatran is going to be a big part of this game because of the fact that it can do so many different things, and Stealth Rocks are actually very important versus the team, so hopefully I can hazard stack up on that too. The next Pokemon we are bringing is Klefki. I had to bring Klefki this week. I really didn't have too many other answers. I'm so glad I drafted this thing. This thing is actually quite a counter to more things than I really expected it to be. I pretty much just drafted Klefki as another Steel type in mind, just because I didn't want to have something. I didn't want my only Steel type to be quad weak to the ground. And this thing obviously gets Magnet Rise, so I can play around the ground type weakness, and this thing is weak to fire, so I can play around with the fire weakness with Heatran. So it's pretty much just mind games going around. That's the the best I can explain the Klefki Heatran core. Anyway, we're bringing our Klefki Slim Cheney leftovers with Prankster, the ability Prankster, with Playrough, Toxic, Spikes, and Magnet Rise with 244 HP, 12 defense, and 252 special attack with a careful nature. This is max special attack, guys. I mean special defense, guys, and it's pretty much there to be able to to be able to eat up hits from the Mega-Aerodactyl, to be able to eat up some Scalds from Milotic, Psychics from Necrozma, Greninjas, Dark Pulses, just things along that nature. I didn't really want to bring a physically defensive Pokemon from Klefki because I feel like Heatran kind of already does that a little bit, and I feel like I don't know, I feel like I needed a special wall. I wouldn't really call it a special wall, but at least something to eat up the Hydro Pumps, the Dark Pulses, the Psychics, and stuff like that's much better. And obviously with leftovers I get decent recovery. If he has grassy terrain up, I get even more recovery, so that's pretty cool. The Playrough is I almost brought Playrough and Flash Cannon because of the fact that he has Mega-Aerodactyl. But then again, I thought it wasn't really worth it. I wanted Magnet Rise over the Flash Cannon because Magnet Rise could help me check so many different things on his team. For example, the Necrozma does get Earthquake, and that's pretty much its only coverage versus my Klefki. So if I have my Klefki in on his Necrozma, I can click Magnet Rise and I really can't get touched. He could T-Wave me, he could try to Calm Mind on me and Psychic me, but I have Toxic, so I can wear him down over time. And by the time he would get up to, I don't know, +2, he'd be worn down pretty far. So Playrough allows me to do a bit of damage as well, at least 20%, so that's kind of cool. Playrough allows me to OHKO the Sneasel, almost OHKO the Greninja. I believe it OHKOs after Rocks, so that's kind of cool. So I really needed that to check his 2 Dark types that were pretty threatening to my team, instead of the Flash Cannon. So that is the reasoning why I brought Playrough over Flash Cannon. Spikes is awesome versus his team. Like I said, the Hitmontop is his only form of hazard removal. So if I can get rid of the Hitmontop, I can pretty much just hazard stack and wear his team down very nicely. So that's pretty cool. But like I already explained, the Magnet Rise is for the ground immunity on something like the Mega-Aerodactyl's Earth Power and the Necrozma's Earthquake. That's about it, honestly. I guess it does apply to Miltank's Earthquake too. But yeah, other than that, it's just there to spread some toxic, spread some spikes, and just be a nuisance to his team, honestly. I want this thing to cause problems for him, and hopefully it will. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is our Grass Kicker, our Tangrowth, with the Assault Vest and the ability Regenerator, Power Whip, Knockoff, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power Fire this week, with 252 HP, 124 defense, and 132 special defense, with a relaxed nature. Actually, with the relaxed nature, I am still outspeeding Escavalier unless he's running a decent amount of speed investment. So I had no problem running a relaxed nature versus this team. Power Whip is great stab versus his team. It 2-hit KOs the Milotic. Actually, in grassy terrain, I have a chance to OHKO depending on his sets. It also does a decent amount of damage to, obviously, the Greninja. OHKOs the Sneasel. Unless he's Sap Sip or Miltank, it does a decent amount to the Miltank, depending on his set too. Yeah, not a whole lot of things can really handle the Power Up, especially if it's in the grassy terrain. Other than the Arcanine with Intimidate and I guess very bulky Necrozma. Obviously a Escavalier can take one pretty easily, but that's about it, so that's pretty cool. Knockoff is there just to get rid of items because of the fact that it's going to be nice to get rid of some items. I don't know what the Tapu Bulu set could be, so maybe he'll switch into that thinking it's a safe switch, and I can knock off its item and then proceed to kill it with the Sludge Bomb. Knockoff is going to be great for the Necrozma, even though it's going to be not resisted, but not as much. It's going to be doing 3/4 of the damage that a super effective hit would be doing, but that's okay. Getting rid of the item could be very important. Getting rid of Milotic's leftovers could be important. Arcanine's leftovers could be important. Yeah, just anything along the line of that. Sneasel's Life Orb or Choice Band or whatever it is, Choice Scarf. That could be also very important. Sludge Bomb is literally just there for the Necrozma. It also does more damage to the Arcanine than any of my other hits, especially if I knocked off his item already and I'm intimidated. So that's about it for the Sludge Bomb. I was just super scared of the Tapu Bulu, so I had to have some sort of answer other than HP Fire for it. So HP Fire is pretty much just for the Escavalier as well. I guess it could hit Sneasel too, but Power Whip does more. The HP Fire is a 2-hit KO on most Escavalier sets. He could run Assault Vest or like a very Spit F set that eats 2, but I don't really predict him to do that, especially if I don't even know if he'll bring it. So Hidden Power Fire is that there for that. So this Tangrowth is pretty much very nice versus his team. The defensive investment makes sure that I am not 2-hit KO'd by Banded, Woodhammer, and Grassy Terrain by Tapu Bulu. And also, I believe I eat like 3 Ice Beams from Milotic. I believe that is this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 Ice Beams from Milotic, and it's 2 Ice Beams from Life Orb Greninja. If it's Specs from Greninja, I don't think I can eat 2 Ice Beams. So that is the set we are bringing. Assault Vest is so nice, especially paired with Regenerator. Anyway, the next Pokemon we're bringing is Jawsum, our Mega-Aerodactyl with the ability Pressure, and the moves Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, Iron Head, and Roost. So this set is pretty much like, I don't know, it's very repetitive, honestly. 76 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, 4 special defense, and 172 speed with an adamant nature. This thing is pretty much there to try to clean. It outspeeds his entire team. Outside of Choice Scarf, obviously. I am a bit worried about Sneasel's Ice Shard and Greninja's Water Shuriken. Because those are 2 very nice priority moves versus my team. Well, not versus my team really, but I guess in general, yes. But versus the Mega-Aerodactyl is what I'm trying to say. And pretty much kind of threatened it out, honestly. This is a very... it's definitely not a gimmicky set because it's just 3 attack Roost, but it is kind of gimmicky in a way. Iron Head is literally only there for DNC. I had to make sure I could OHKO that. I didn't want to bring Earthquake because of the fact that Grassy Terrain could weaken my Earthquakes. Iron Head, I guess, is potentially better versus the Sneasel if I want to use it other than Stone Edge, so I can guarantee that I will hit. But yeah, that is literally only there for the DNC. Aerial Ace still, I believe, does more versus the Bulu because of the fact that it is stab, so that's cool. Even though Aerial Ace is less base power, so just in case if you were wondering. Stone Edge is just perfect stab versus team. His only rock resist is Hitmontop, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, it's just Hitmontop. So obviously, if I can bring in this thing, Stone Edge is a pretty neutral play. It pretty much destroys the Arcanine. It does a ton to pretty much anything. It's a 2-hit KO on Necrozma unless he's a very bulky set. To put that in perspective, that is about it, I believe, for Stone Edge. Yeah, it's pretty much almost a 2-hit KO on everything unless they're a very bulky set. So Aerial Ace is just nice stab as well. Roost allows me to potentially beat the the Miltank one-on-one, depending if he has Toxic or not. This is a decent Miltank switch-in. I just don't want to get Body Slam paralyzed, or I guess it's okay switch into something like if I know a Scavalier is locked into like Mega Horn, I can switch into this thing. I quad resist it. Actually, I just resist it. I don't quad resist. I just resist. But yeah, and I guess Bulu's Mega Horn if I know he's Scarf. Stuff like that. But yeah, that is the Aerodactyl set we're bringing. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. The next Pokemon we're bringing is Patrick, our Starmie, with the Colbur Berry and the ability Natural Cure. With the moves Surf, Thunderbolt, Rapid Spin, and Toxic. 28 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack, 4 special defense, and 220 speed with a timid nature. This amount of speed allows me to outspeed the Mega-Diancie. I didn't want to really speed tie with the Sneasel because I knew he would either bring I know he's going to bring Jolly max speed, at least I would think he would, or Choice Scarf or something to outspeed my Starmie. So I wanted to run a Colbur Berry and a bit of HP investment, just a little bit to be more comfortable, so that's just my theory behind that. Surf allows me to OHKO the Mega-Diancie over Scald, allows me to also not burn things like his Milotic. I don't want to give it Marvel Scale. That is the reasoning behind Flamethrower over Lava Plume on Heatran, plus Flamethrower is a little bit more powerful to make sure I kill the Tapu Bulu. I believe Flash Cannon's like an 80% and Flamethrower is like a 100% if he's uninvested. So that's just my theory behind that. Surf allows me to do just a bit of more damage to everything else too, so that's kind of cool. Thunderbolt is there for the Greninja, the Milotic, and that is about it. Yeah, that's it. The Thunderbolt actually OHKOs the Greninja if he is uninvested. Well, if he's a little bit invested, I believe it still OHKOs. So that's why we're running max special attack investment. For a little bit, I had Analytic Life Orb on this set, but I changed my mind. I didn't think it would work. It got worn down too quickly. I decided to throw a second Toxic user on there in case Cliffy went down early, and I really didn't have any other checks for something like the Milotic or the Necrozma. So we're running our second Toxic user on this team. Over Recover, this was very, very, I guess, hard for me to choose. I really wanted to run Recover because of the fact that it could potentially check things like Arcanine. I didn't want it to get worn down so easily by Milotic and just, be able to recover up on things. Just be able to eat more hits and then potentially become a better status absorber for the long run. So I decided Toxic over it because we don't have leftovers either. So we'll see how it goes. The last Pokemon we're bringing, hopefully this thing can put in some work, is Vaseline, our Toxicroak, with the Black Sludge and the ability Dry Skin, which enables us to eat those Hydro Pumps, those Scalds, and any water type attack that he has on his team versus us. With the moves Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, Bullet Punch, and Substitute. So this is a pretty gimmicky set as well. The Substitute really isn't, but the Bullet Punch definitely is. Bullet Punch allows me to do quite a bit to the Diancie. I believe I kill after rocks, depending if he's a hasty or naive nature, or if he's not either of those, maybe he's modest or something weird like that. But anyway, Bullet Punch does a decent amount. I believe it's upwards of 70, like mid 70s to mid 80s, depending on I guess his set. Potentially could be in the hundreds if he is a hasty nature. So yeah, it just kind of depends. The Drain Punch is just there for stuff. It's just nice stab, honestly. Hits his team relatively hard, especially the Miltank and the Sneasel. Just destroys both of those things. Gunk Shot is awesome. Stab too. 120 base poison stab is awesome. Kills the Tapu Bulu like twice over because it's quad weak to poison. I am running Gunk Shot over Poison Jab because of the fact that it could put in work over Poison Jab because of the fact that it just does more damage. It could like be very decisive in the fact that killing something. Like I felt like Drain Punch and Poison Jab are really close to each other. I wanted to have one move that's a little bit more powerful in case I needed some more firepower. It does upwards of 50 to 60% to the Arcanine if I'm not intimidated. Does about 50 to 60% to a max Fizz Def Hitmontop, so that's cool. Yeah, that's about it, honestly, for the Gunk Shot. Nothing else stands out to me on his team. It also hits, I guess if I needed to hit the Necrozma pretty hard, Gunk Shot could potentially do about 50% if he's a very, very bulky set. The reason why I'm bringing Substitute over something like SD or something along the lines of that, or maybe like Sucker Punch or, any other move, Substitute allows me to take advantage of like his Milotic. Usually you see Milotic carrying like Scald, maybe Ice Beam, Toxic, and Recover. Like they're very, very, I guess one-dimensional is a good way to put it. I'm not really. At least this is one of my offensive checks to his Milotic. I can't really do too much to his Milotic. The Drain Punch is doing about 30 to 35%, and Gunk Shot's doing about like 45 to 50. So depending on his set, like it's just pretty much an offensive check. I wanted something to be able to eat those water type attacks up, like the Scald, so he can't just spam Scald on me, especially if Starmie goes down. I don't consider Tangrowth a good Scald switch in because I just don't want to get him burned for no reason. And I'm a Power Whip set over a Leaf Storm set, so that's my reasoning behind that. It's a good check to the Greninja too. I resist both of its stabs. I'm immune to one of them and I resist the other. So that's pretty cool. Even though Greninja does get access to extra sensory, so I gotta watch out for that. I don't believe he would run HP Psychic on anything to cover this, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's pretty much there to outspeed the Bulu. I outspeed the Bulu at 128 speed, an Adamant Bulu, not a Jolly one. Adamant is able to OHKO me from full with the Wood Hammer if he's banded, and Jolly does not. So that is the reasoning why we're running that. I definitely wanted some HP investments. I can definitely check the Hitmontop if it doesn't have Earthquake and pretty much proceed from there. So I just kind of have to scout out his sets. So that is the team we're bringing for Nick, week 5 in the NPL. Let's head right over to the battle. So we see he brings Greninja, Milotic, Sneasel, Hitmontop, Tapu Bulu, and Arcanine. So I was pretty concerned once I didn't see the Necrozma or the Mega Diancie. I really thought he would bring both of those. I didn't think he would bring Sneasel and Greninja. He actually did bring both, so I'm a bit concerned about that. Hopefully they won't be too much because of the fact that I'm asking my Klefki to check a lot of things right now. I'm asking Klefki to check the Greninja, the Sneasel, and potentially the Hitmontop. So I really have to watch out for that. 3 of the Mons pretty much all pressured into Klefki, and I don't necessarily like that because the other, well, I guess Klefki it checks Bulu too. So I'm asking it to check about 4 Mons. The other 2 it doesn't really check at all. I don't want it eating Scalds or anything, or Hydro Pumps from Milotic. I don't want it eating like Flare Blitzes or Fire Blasts from Arcanine. So I really have to play around that, and I really need to find out his sets. His sets. The good thing is there's no Magic Bounce to deal with, so I'm free to set up my layers, which is pretty nice, honestly. So that is one good thing behind it. So looking at his team, I think I can lead off with my Tangrowth here because it's just relatively free. I can pretty much do whatever I want versus his team with this thing, as he leads the one thing that I can't really do too much versus. So I have to switch out here and go straight into my Heatran, pretty much scouting the set. I do carry the Chople Berry, so I'm able to eat up whatever move he wants, honestly. So we just go straight for the Burn Up, which I'm going to pause it right here. Guys, I don't know what Burn Up is. That was the first time I've seen Burn Up ever. I had to look it up during the battle, like mid-battle, and double check what Burn Up is. So he loses his Fire type move, and then he is not able to use it again after using it, but it's a very powerful Fire type move. I believe it's 130 base power on the special side, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's on the special side. So we see that, and he's Intimidate instead of Flash Fire. As I go into my Heatran, and I'm able to eat up the attack, and on this turn I go for the Earth Power, just try to get some damage off on him. Because I know he's just going to switch into this thing anyway, and then try to set up his hazard. So he just goes straight for the, well, he switches out into his Milotic, that's what he does. Obviously I can't stand with this thing, and he is Flame Orb Milotic, so that means he already has his Marvel skill, as he goes straight for the Ice Beam, which is fine. I'm able to eat that up pretty well. So this is a problem. This thing is very, very bulky. He doesn't want me setting up on him, so he switches out into his Hitmontop like he should. So I just go straight for the Drain Punch, trying to get some HP back, and I guess just it's the mid-ground play. It doesn't really do too much. He has no leftovers on this thing, so it leads me to believe that he is indeed Assault Vest, but he makes a good double going back into his Arcanine and predicting what's going to happen. So he goes, he goes back to the Arcanine, and he goes straight for the Close Combat, which does a lot of damage. I'm able to look up what his set is after that, so I can't really just stay in and Mega Evolve and just roost. I mean, I guess I could have, but I didn't want to risk that he was Choice Scarf. I still don't know if he's Choice Scarf or not. So I go straight for the Toxic, predicting that he would want to switch out into something else, fearing a Thunderbolt, but he just goes for the cover, which is totally fine. I go straight for the Thunderbolt, do 35%, which isn't that bad, honestly. As he clicks Dragon Tail, and it's only doing 6%, so I get to know his set. Ice Beam, Dragon Tail, and Recover, obviously with the Water type move like Scald or Hydro Pump as the last one. I just go for the knockoff, predicting a switch. Maybe he has Heal Bell, probably not. I don't think anything on this team gets Heal Bell, as he just goes straight for the Ice Beam on the next turn. As I go for the Power Whip, do a very nice chunk of damage, 43% to him, forcing him to recover up, so I get a free switch into my Heatran here. And I know you guys are thinking like, this is my thinking when I switch into the Heatran. So Heatran is my Z move mon, so I was thinking maybe he would think I would have Bloom Doom and he would want to switch out here. I really thought he would be more concerned about the Bloom Doom here. But yeah, my theory is I have Bloom Doom. It destroys this thing if he is, in fact, if he wants to stay in here and click Scald on me. So my theory is I'll just set up rocks. Obviously I'm not Bloom Doom, and pretty much go from there. Like if I can set my rocks up here for free and keep my Heatran very healthy, it's very good for me. So I just go ahead and set my Stealth Rocks up as he just stays in and goes straight for the Surf. So it's 58% to me, which is, I just don't necessarily agree with that play, but I mean obviously it worked out for him. So I guess he saw right through me, and I don't carry the Bloom Doom. As I just switch out of this thing because I know it can check him, and there's really not too much he can do to me other than just starting to click Ice Beam, and he still doesn't know that I can't set up on him. Maybe he's thinking I'm SD or Bulk Up. So I just go straight for the Drain Punch again here, and it's actually a very good roll in my favor to knock this thing out, and we get about min roll. So he's unfortunately able to spin our hazards away. I didn't want to risk the Gung Shot miss. I really thought he Drain Punch would have knocked him out there, and keeping those rocks up would have been very, very nice. So that's unfortunate for us, as he's able to keep the Hitmontop as a nice sack too. So unfortunately for us, we're not able to keep the rocks up, as he's just going to click Burn Up on our Starmie, which does 32%, which is a very, very good amount, honestly. As he switches out into, the Bulu, and I can't stay in here. I will die to Banded Mega Horn, so I have to scout for the Mega Horn, as I do just that and go into Klefki, as he does indeed carry it and gets a crit, and it only does 18%. So that does next to nothing, as I'm able to get almost all of it back from leftovers in grassy terrain. I set up a Spike here because it does indeed kill the Hitmontop, so that's cool. As I'm able to get back to full. I don't necessarily know what this Arcanine's item is yet. I don't know at all, as he just goes straight for the Burn Up again, and now my Starmie cannot eat another one of those hits, which is pretty unfortunate. So he does in fact carry the E-Speed, and he just knocks out our Starmie here. I didn't really want to switch, risking a potential Fire type move, like maybe he has Flamethrower. I don't know this thing's set yet. I know a couple moves, and that's it. So I know Close Combat, Burn Up, and E-Speed. So I just go straight for the Stone Edge of this thing. I know he doesn't have his Fire typing, so he's able to live it, and he's able to kill me with the Close Combat, but I didn't have another necessarily safe play. So we were pretty far in the back, honestly. I set up another Spike, knowing that he really can't do too much, as he sets up a Morning Sun on it, and that wasn't good for us, because I could have potentially clicked Toxic there instead. So he goes into this thing as I get my third layer of spikes up, which is fantastic. So his Hitmontop dies upon switching, which is pretty cool. And now I just get to play around with my hazards. So he goes straight for the Woodhammer on the Bulu set, and I still don't know what Bulu set this is. I know it's not Bandit, because Bandit would be doing a little bit more, which is kind of cool. So I kind of threaten this thing out with a Sludge Bomb and just go straight for the knockoff. What do I go for here? No, I double. I double into Klefki because I wanted to see if he wanted to switch up his moves, so that doesn't really work out for us either. So go into my Heatran here, because it's just pretty much my only necessarily good check to this thing, as he Morning Sun's up again. So I Earth Power here. I was very, very surprised. So my theory behind this move was he should outspeed me. So he'll click Close Combat, lose one. He'll go -1 defense, -1 special defense. My Earth Power will kill. So I click Earth Power, and I actually am outspeeded him. So he's a very, very bulky set, and he is indeed like almost no speed investment. So that's very unfortunate for us. I'm able to get some chip damage off, as E-Speed will be able to kill us. So he just goes straight for the Extreme Speed, and this thing is the same basic speed as the Heatran, so I know I'll be able to outspeed and kill this thing with my next move. So I had to think. I really thought he would sack the Hitmontop there, but on that I would have probably clicked sub, but I didn't want to risk it. I'm already in the back. I'm trying to play a little bit safe while being aggressive at the same time. I have to sack the Heatran here. There's really no other safe switch, and I still don't know this thing's item. But like knowing that he brought it into a Toxic Croak, I know it's Choice Scarf now. So now I can go into this thing, eat the Wood Hammer up very easily, and just click Sludge Bomb and knock him out. So I'm able to knock out the Tapu Bulu, which is a big threat to my team. I don't know if he should have sacked it so early. He didn't necessarily have too many good switch-ins, but I still think that he would be, I don't know, better off if he didn't sack it so early. So he just goes in Morning Sun's up here. I'm going to click Knockoff because I know I can eat one burn up still. But I noticed that he has Expert Belt, and I wouldn't have been able to eat the burn up there if he clicked burn up. So luckily he does not click burn up, he just clicks Morning Sun, so that's kind of nice, honestly. And now that the Expert Belt is gone, I'm able to eat it up relatively well with the Klefki as well. So he clicks burn up here, does 81%, that's what I get for being a max special defense set, so that's kind of nice. I'm able to finally Toxic the Arcanine, putting it on a timer, which I desperately needed, as these spikes are coming in clutch too. As you can see, he's taking 25 upon switching on each one of his Mons. As I go back out into my Tangrowth here, as he goes into his Arcanine, I mean not his Arcanine, his Milotic. So he goes straight for the Ice Beam, doesn't do too much. I go straight for the Power Whip, and it does a ton, considering that it's a burned Marvel Scale Milotic. I can't switch out and risk anything, so I just go straight for the Power Whip again, as my Tangrowth is whittled down pretty much. It is at 32%, and it's still not looking too good for us. So he goes into his Sneasel here, and I have to switch out into the Klefki because I can't let Tangrowth take any other damage, as he just goes ahead and clicks Knockoff. And by that damage, it is in fact banded damage due to the fact that I don't see any Life Orb. So I know for a fact I can eat the Knockoff and get my recovery back from the Drain Punch, so putting me out of E-Speed range. E-Speed does about 40 to 44%, so I am out of E-Speed range, even if I am intimidated. I'm going to go slow here and try to explain my plays, because this is a very, very, I wouldn't say, it's just a very good ending, so I want to explain it thoroughly. So he goes straight for the Exchange Speed, doing roughly 42% to me, but they go straight for the Gunk Shot, doing 46%. So he's going to take some toxic damage. Now, looking at this, I want to switch out because I'm predicting an E-Speed to come, and he is still on a timer with the Toxic, and he can't really switch out because he'll die with Spike switching. So he does in fact go straight for the Extreme Speed, does 17% to me. Notice he still has the Burn Up, and he has the ability to Morning Sun up. So I'm playing about 50-50s here. Switch back into my Toxic Croak on the predicted Morning Sun, and getting a little bit of Regenerator boost. It's all about getting the Regenerator boost right now. So he is still getting whittled down very nicely. I know he's probably going to try to click Extreme Speed here again because I do outspeed him. As I switch back into my Tangrowth on the predicted Extreme Speed, goes for the Extreme Speed yet again, as he is still getting whittled down very nicely by my Toxic. On this turn, I believe he's expecting me to switch out into my Toxic Croak on the Morning Sun again, as I predicted him to click the Morning Sun so I can get some Sludge Bomb damage off on him, as he does take the Sludge Bomb, and I get that correct, which is fantastic, as he's taking 30% from Toxic now. So now all I have to do is switch out on the predicted Burn Up, or the Morning Sun again, and then let this thing go down, because my Tangrowth is at a very nice amount of HP, as he just goes ahead and clicks Burn Up to knock out my Toxic Croak, as he will go down to the poison damage. So we are looking very, very good. We got out of a really sticky situation. It wasn't looking too good for us at all, and now we have a 99% HP Tangrowth versus his weakened, what do you call it, Greninja. So the only thing that's stopping us from winning this battle is hitting a Power Whip right here. So he clicks Extra Sensory. It looks like he doesn't have an Ice move, or at least coverage move, to hit the Tangrowth, as I'm able to knock him out with a Power Whip, and that is a very, very good game to Nick, Reckless Bat, coach of the Texas Tyrantrums. Closest one all season. It's a 1-0. That is our the closest game, like I said, all season. It was very, very intense. I really thought we were going to lose it as soon as I let Mega-Aerodactyl go down so early, and pretty much had a tough time dealing with his entire team, trying to scout his sets and just, I don't know, trying to predict him. Luckily, we were able to come out on top because Tangrowth is a beast, so that is very, very nice for us. This thing was down at 33%, guys, and I worked my way up to max HP, so Part of it is good plays, and part of it was not good plays. Honestly, I didn't play well at all in the beginning. He definitely had the upper hand in the beginning, but I slowly but surely worked my way back. So a win is a win. No, it really wasn't a haxy game. It was a great game. I'm very, very happy with the results, and we are continuing undefeated in the NPL at 5-0. So, like I said, this was a great game. I had a lot of fun battling Nick. This was so much closer than our game last year, and he's turned out to be a terrific battler within the year. So good luck to Nick the rest of the season. I don't believe we will play him again unless it is in playoffs, because he's in the other conference and not in my division. So hopefully we might see each other in the playoffs. You never know. Yeah, that was a great game, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of that battle. I mean, these past two games versus Eric and versus Nick have been very, very crazy. At least more crazy than any of my division battles this year. So, like I said, we are 5-0, still on top of the NPL by 1 differential point. Me and another person are, I believe it is Seabass, coach of the Montreal Monfernos. We are the only undefeated people left in the NPL at 5-0, so that is pretty nice. Anyway, what else is there to cover? That is about it, honestly. As far as transaction goes, I haven't really thought about transactions. I think my team is pretty nice, even though we haven't brought Vigavolt at all. Hopefully we can squeeze Vigavolt in there for at least one game or two. But yeah, so I'm thinking the Borussia Darkrai are looking pretty good at this point. We are 5-0, like I just said. And we're playing... Who are we playing next week? Oh, we're playing Adam the Bee's Knees. The guy we played in the finals of Season 2 in the NPL last year. So that's pretty cool. It is a rematch of the finals, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that match, because I definitely am. So that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think of the battle, and yeah, I'll see you later.